Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Nahh Podcast. I am your host, Sani Nahh, joined by the one and only Pat.
Hey, yo.
We are back after a long hiatus. I apologize, but it happens, and what could you do, you know? But we're back, new studio, new flow, same show, so we don't get to go. This is going to be a quick breakdown, preview and breakdown episode for UFC 270's Francis Ngannou versus Ciryl Gane. We're just gonna pretty much break down like the stats of each fighter and then talk about who we think's gonna win and how we think they're gonna win it. But only fight. Usually when I do breakdowns, I do more than one fight. Pretty much. Sometimes I do. Well, all the time I do the whole main card. But since this is the first episode in a long time, we want to get back in the flow with things, right?
Yep.
So we're gonna just do and focus on Ngannou versus Gane. But as usual, when I do breakdowns, we're gonna go right into the last three fights. Pat can start off with Ciryl Gane.
Ciryl Gane last fought Derek Lewis with a TKO in round 3. Before that was Alexander Volkov by decision in June. And then February, he won against Rosenstruck. Also decision.
Mm-hmm. All dominant, though.
Yep. Yeah, very dominant.
Both unanimous decisions, both dominant.
And that's 3 in 1 year.
Mm-hmm. Like all 3 stages of the year, too.
Yeah.
Like the beginning stage, the middle, and right at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking kept busy the whole time.
That's it. Yeah. Like, what can you do more than that? You know, 3 is like.
And for Francis Ngannou, who is 16-3, and Ciryl Gane is 10-0 undefeated. I got that all the way up in the corner, so Pat didn't see that. But Francis Ngannou, who is 16-3, his last fight was against Stipe Miocic, which obviously he won by KO in round 2 because Stipe got very fucking careless. Very careless.
True.
And you can't do that against Ngannou. Obviously, I'm still pretty upset about that, but whatever. Francis won that in round 2 by KO, and that was in March of last year, where he won the heavyweight title. Before that, he also beat Jairzinho Rozenstruik by KO in round 1, and that was in May of 2020, the year before that. And then before that was Junior Dos Santos, which he won by TKO in round 2 in June 2019.
Yep.
So this dude has just fought once every year. Which is like weird to me because I could have sworn he fought like a little more than that.
Yeah, I felt like he did, but I guess not.
Because like when he fought Junior Dos Santos, that was like one of my first audio podcast episodes I ever did.
Yeah.
And that felt like forever ago.
That did feel like a long time.
You know what
ago.
I'm saying? Like when I started the podcast, it was with that fight, and now that was only 3 fights ago. That's insane.
Yeah, so he hasn't been staying busy.
Not at all.
He's been picking and choosing a lot, I feel like.
Yeah, we'll get into that too.
At least Gane is like, he's just ready to go.
He's just fighting.
Right.
He's doing his job.
Yeah.
But, all right, going into the breakdown and prediction though, going into this fight, both fighters are 6'4", so none of them will have a height advantage at all. Francis's, his average weigh-in weight is about 250. And this morning they had the official weigh-in, and he weighed in at like 260 maybe,
really,
or like in the high 250s. And Gane weighed in at 250 in the 250s. And last fight he weighed in at 246. So he put on some weight for this fight, and I kind of get it, but how will that affect him? But someone like Gane, I don't think it'll affect him like that.
Yeah, I mean I don't think it'll affect him too much. I mean, if it was more weight than that, I mean, it is kind of a lot.
Then it'd be a little bit. It would have been a little sketchy.
Yeah.
But Francis will have the reach advantage by 2 inches, as his reach is 83 inches and Gane's is 81 inches. Both fighters fight in the orthodox stance, although Gane is known to switch stances up as the fight goes along.
He is crafty.
Yeah, very fucking crafty. As far as the stats go, in the striking department, Francis lands 2.5 strikes per minute, and it seems low, but that's obviously because all it takes is 2 strikes to put somebody out in one of those minutes. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's why it's that low.
Yeah.
As for Gane, though, he lands little under 5.5 strikes a minute, So he's just like, he's volume.
Yeah.
He's like a heavyweight Max Holloway. Francis' striking accuracy is at 41% and Gane's is at 57%. When it comes to strikes absorbed, Francis takes little over 2 strikes with a defensive percentage of 45%, and Gane takes little under 2.5 strikes with a 62% defensive percentage. In the grappling department, both fighters damn near don't average 1 takedown a fight, and when they do, Francis has a 33% takedown accuracy and Gane has a 20% accuracy. But that says nothing because they just don't go for fucking takedowns. When it comes to takedown defense, Francis has a 72% takedown defense and Gane has a 100% takedown defense, so no one has been able to take the big man down. And both fighters average damn near no submissions a fight either, which is weird because Gane started his UFC career with 2 submission wins in a row.
Yeah.
And according to the stats, he averages 0.3 submissions in an average of 15 minutes.
Huh.
It's weird, right?
That is weird.
And Francis, too. He also has, I think, 1 or 2 submissions in his UFC career, and his stat is just like that, like 0.2. But, all right, so going into my thoughts onto this, I'll start off by saying it's easily the most intriguing heavyweight fight in a long time. An amazing stylistic matchup of brute versus technician.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Like, we all know what both guys bring to the table, unless you live under a rock. But, the monster who knocks dudes dead in Francis Ngannou, and, Gane, the masterful type of fighter that just picks his opponents apart with calculated and perfectly timed shots and combos, whether it be with the feet, hands, knees, or elbows.
It don't matter.
Doesn't matter. He just knows how to put it together.
Yeah.
Francis has a tendency of throwing like very sloppy punches sometimes, but even those sloppy punches have put people away.
Yeah.
Which is the scariest thing about it.
That is scary.
He could be falling, I feel, and
still just get if he just gets one out there, you never know.
And just clock you right on the chin, and that's it.
That's it.
But which goes back to him landing those two strikes a minute. That's all it takes.
Right.
Sloppy or pretty, one of those 2 strikes could end the fight very quick. Gane, in his 10-0 record, he has 4 knockouts. But in 2 of them in the UFC and 2 of them before he got into the UFC, all 4 of them were deemed TKOs, which means, he isn't the one-hitter quitter type of fighter like Francis is. I mean, of course, anything is possible in fighting, and this fucker could come in and just straight up blast Francis and just drop him dead, But he hasn't shown that. He hasn't shown that he has that one-hit power like that.
Right.
Gane chops you down, stuns you, and then finishes you.
Yeah, right.
And like sometimes to like the casual watcher, they're gonna think it's boring, but it's a beautiful thing,
Oh yeah, I mean, he, like you said, he's a technician,
and it's just masterful.
It is.
Yeah, Gane chops you down and stuns you, then finishes you. And Francis's victories, he just puts you out cold. One thing to note before going on is that these 2 were actually former training partners a few years ago. And recently, leading up to this fight, people on both sides have been saying that they've knocked each other out. You know what I mean? So Francis is saying he knocked Gane out. Gane didn't say anything, but Gane's coach mentioned it, which is Francis's old coach.
Right.
But Gane
they're going to go at it.
I hope so. Like, seeing the weigh-ins earlier, not the weigh-ins, but the face-off yesterday after the press conference, like, I just kind of feel like they don't want to punch each other in the face. You can tell they still have like a mutual respect for each other, but when the gold's on the line, you gotta go for it.
Right.
But yeah, recently people on both sides have been saying they've knocked each other out in training, but there's no footage on it. But it does,
of course, conveniently.
But it does make the fight just that much more exciting, knowing that they've trained with each other and they know each other way more than
they know
us
each
as
other.
fans think they do.
So maybe they won't even have that feel out stage. They might just go right at it.
That would be stupid on Francis' end.
The Gane in 60 seconds.
Gone in 60 seconds.
You need a fashion counselor. All right, babe, I ain't here for the door. I'm here for the car. Get your big ass out.
Oh, gosh, imagine. We have to trademark that now.
Yeah,
if Gane gets knocked out in less than 60 seconds, you heard it here first, all right?
That's going to be everywhere.
It's going to be on t-shirts.
Everyone's already thought of that.
It's going to be novelty t-shirts. I don't know. I haven't heard that yet.
Well, it hasn't happened yet.
So Francis's keys to victory is what it always has been. His one and only key that he has.
Yep.
Which is the one-punch knockout power in the early rounds.
That's it.
Obviously, it could happen in the later rounds, but very unlikely.
Yeah. I mean, he might, gas out in the later rounds.
Yeah.
A little bit. Maybe not fully.
Oh, a lot of it.
I know.
Yeah.
I didn't want to, doubt him like that.
As we've seen in, the few times that Francis has gone the distance, he just tires out by the end of the second round,
Yeah.
What he should plan to do in the first 2 rounds would to be chop Gane's legs down, and slow down his movement and
right.
Just the in and out entries that he has. If you could do that and just keep him in front of him, that's his only his only way of knocking him out, because Gane's gonna be gone in 60 seconds. Hopefully
gone in 60 seconds.
But
no, I don't think so. It's gonna go more than 60 seconds.
If he could savor his energy, use kicks more than punches just for those early 2 rounds, it could benefit him going on into the later rounds.
Right.
But as we know about Francis, he's usually one to not stick to the game plan and only has his one game plan, which is just go for the kill.
Yep.
Besides the last Stipe fight, which, he looked the greatest he's ever looked in
Oh,
his
yeah,
life.
he did actually.
Stuffing
look
takedowns,
really yeah, he
throwing
looked really
him to
good.
the side and shit. I couldn't believe when he stuffed
Yeah.
that first takedown, I was like, oh shit, he's gonna win.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit.
He's definitely done that fight. I was like, I don't know what I was watching for a minute.
That was the
I'm
most
like,
motivated he's ever been.
Definitely.
But
Respect.
But
He did fight his ass off.
But Stipe and Gane, 2 completely different type of fighters.
Yeah.
Stipe, he cracked Francis, and Francis stumbled a little bit, and Stipe
Right.
was like, oh, he went
went
in, and
in.
then boop,
Yeah.
and then just folded.
Yeah,
man,
that was
folded
crazy.
like a lawn chair. But they're 2 completely different fighters. He's not gonna even if he stuns Francis, he's not gonna rush in. He's not gonna throw head kicks or something. Just keep his distance,
Right. Yeah.
But
I would hope.
Again, Gane's movement is just out of this world for someone who is almost 250 or is 250 weighing in this morning. So he's gonna come into the fight like 270, 280.
Yeah, and he moves around a lot.
A lot. He's just so bouncy. It's crazy.
It is.
We think Derek Lewis jumping and doing crazy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, his fucking head kicks.
We think that's something. But you just gotta watch Gane fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, he even utilizes very underrated boxing techniques, which I saw leading up to this fight, breaking down his last fight. One being stepping on the opponent's foot when pouncing in for an attack.
Yeah.
You know how
Yeah.
who's a good guy to example? Shit. He fought Pacquiao like 4 times. Juan Manuel Marquez.
Oh, Marquez, yeah.
He steps the way he every time he enters, he just steps on your foot.
Yeah,
so
he
you
stomps down, yeah.
And Gane did that to a T against Derek Lewis in his last fight, and I didn't even notice that until I watched it again leading up to this.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But he does that, and the way he parries his opponent's hands is just beautiful. He's out of this world, man. If he loses this fight, we know how he's gonna lose. But
yeah, he's only gonna lose one way.
One fucking way.
But he has many ways he can win it.
Mm-hmm. But a lot of these techniques I'm speaking of, though, you could see it, like I said, throughout the Derek Lewis fight before he got to finish.
Yeah.
And again, he's a very versatile. He has submission finishes, but I honestly doubt that he attempts any submissions in this fight. What do you think?
You don't think he takes any attempts?
Only because yes, he has submitted people, but these aren't strong heavyweights.
Yeah,
Francis
that's true.
is like a beast. One of his submissions was a Kimura, and I just can't see him putting Francis in a Kimura.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know? But I mean, hey, just watch. Just
I mean,
'cause
it
said
probably
that-
won't come down to it, but
But watch, just because I said that, he's gonna win with a Kimura.
I'll give him one attempt at least.
like a guillotine or something.
Yeah.
But I just think Francis is too strong to just let him grab his
Yeah.
arm and, But it's hard for me to see either dude out muscle each other. You know,
Right.
That's why this match is so intriguing, because they're so equal in the sense of size.
Yeah.
They're not gonna bully each other. You know what I mean? Like they have to their past opponents.
Right.
So, and they clearly haven't, because they've been training partners for that reason.
Yeah. I mean, that's
You
why
know.
they put them as training partners.
Iron sharpens iron, as they say.
Right.
But when it comes down to actual strength, it could be very close to the same. But all right, let's get into how I think this will actually play out. If you've seen my previous breakdown and prediction episodes in the past, you've heard me use this phrase before, a cat and mouse game. And that is exactly how this fight has to be and how it has to happen, for Gane's sake at least. Francis being the cat and Gane being the mouse. A very, very, very big mouse. I highly doubt.
Very big mouse.
I highly doubt that it turns out into a slugfest, as Gane would not get suckered into, that kind of fight. I would hope. And he's always shown to be a smart fighter.
Right.
So I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I don't think so.
If he does, he's more than likely going to get clipped in the middle of one of those 3-punch crazy
Absolutely.
combos,
Yeah. Absolutely.
and which only takes one of those 3.
That's it.
But and it's never to the body, it's always to the head. But he's a fast big dude for those first 2 rounds. So you just gotta stay away.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I believe this fight may end up not being a fan favorite fight to go back and watch in the future. It might be looked at as a boring fight to casual fighters, like I mentioned earlier. But to people like us, it's gonna be masterful. It'll be like,
Definitely.
I enjoy shit like that. But which goes into my prediction, which probably doesn't sound surprising. My pick is gonna be Ciryl Gane by decision. Again, if Francis wins, it'll be by a knockout. No way he wins by decision. I wouldn't be surprised if Gane gets a TKO, after Francis tires out and, finishes him on the feet with volume in the later rounds. But I'm leaning more towards Gane by decision, winning 3 to 4 rounds to take it. What do you think?
I'm taking Francis.
Pow.
You taking Francis?
Knockout.
By
Gone in
knockout?
60 seconds. You heard it here first.
Are you taking it just because of that, or
No, I think he's
you
gonna
think
knock
he's
him
gonna
out.
You think he's gonna clip him?
No,
Early?
I mean, it might not be early. I think he's gonna have to wear him down a little bit, which isn't gonna be easy.
Which is not gonna be
But I don't know. I think he wins. I think he takes
by
it.
knockout though.
Yeah.
It has to be.
It's gonna be by knockout. Yeah.
Like Gane's movement is just so fluid, and it's just the way that he dictates distance, and it just plays a big
He's
part.
really good at it. I think he's just gonna get clipped.
It's possible.
That's what I mean. It can happen.
Yeah, but yeah, he just.
I'm
just
also
needs to
kind of
keep
just
Francis
saying that
away.
because I don't want to also pick the same thing as you.
Yeah, I get it.
You know.
You gotta keep it interesting.
So I'm just keeping it.
But a lot of Francis' opponents, like he stood in front of him and they didn't get out of the way in time before eventually getting knocked the fuck out.
Right.
Gane, he's gonna stick and move all fight.
Yeah, he's better than that. But
he's gonna be a matador.
yeah,
A bull in a matador.
I mean, Stipe is, he's a technician too.
He is, but he got overzealous, and I can't see Gane getting overzealous.
That's true.
But
It makes sense. Like he was the champ, and he got a little,
yeah.
And this guy's, Gane. Sorry, is trying to become the champ. So
Yeah.
Makes
Yeah. I see what
sense.
you're saying.
he's not gonna make those mistakes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I'd be shocked if either gets a takedown, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
But if one does, I think it would be Gane. But
Yeah.
in the late
Agreed.
rounds,
Agreed.
after Francis
Yeah.
gets a little tired,
Definitely. It's not gonna be Francis.
But I'm going with Gane by decision. But now, on the other hand, as much as I think Gane wins this fight, I would not be mad at all to see Francis win and put the UFC in a weird position of turmoil. As we know, the UFC and Francis has been butting heads over contract negotiations, and this is Francis's last fight on his current contract.
Right.
So, and Francis is out here making a lot of demands to be included in his new contract if he resigns, which includes getting paid more than $500,000 every fight. And which he definitely should be.
I mean, yeah.
If you're a heavyweight champion of the world,
Why? Yeah.
you should be getting paid $1 million.
Boxing, I mean, come on.
Yeah, boxing, like, they already do it.
Yeah, they're getting at least a mil.
Yeah.
Probably
More,
like 10,
a lot more.
20.
Yeah, so, I understand that. And he's saying that he also wants to have a boxing clause that allows him to have boxing matches and boxing promotions, and wants the UFC to be a partner through all that. If you know me, you know I love to call the UFC the ultimate fucking circus because of the funny, shady, and unlogical shit that they pull and tend to do. I highly doubt that they want to cater to any of Francis' demands.
No way.
And they're just here praying that he loses this fight.
They don't want to hear any of it.
None of it. And they're praying that he loses this fight.
Yep.
But I would be more than happy to see how that plays out if he wins that fight. And watch Dana's head turn into a goddamn tomato. Turn red as hell as a tomato. But, if, like, the moment he's putting the belt on Francis, his head's gonna be fucking red as shit. But, I'm going with Gane. You're going with Francis?
Going with Francis.
Shit. But, alright. That was our breakdown and prediction episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. All support, always appreciated. Great to be back. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And we will see you guys with the next video very soon.